Time once again for some HTBL baseball. This is the 8th round of games we're going to be playing today. I'm Big Paulie coming to you. Welcome to the HTBL. If you have not visited us before, we are now up to, on the timeline, April the 13th. We're going to show you a recap of games from April 12th. I play a game. I pick a game and we rotate through the divisions unless I get special requests, and I have one which we're going to do tomorrow. We'll do Kansas City and Houston in our next episode. Shouldn't say tomorrow because I might not get to it tomorrow. So let's show you what happened on April 12th and then play the game for April 13th. I am the general manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. Each team picks 40 players representing the franchises where they currently reside. So the LA Dodgers cannot pick Brooklyn Dodgers and so on. The San Francisco Giants can't pick New York Giants. The Oakland A's cannot pick Kansas City A's or Philadelphia A's. And the Milwaukee Brewers can't pick Seattle Pilots. So that's how it works. And then after everybody made their picks, there was a 10-round draft where players from the turn of the 19th century, let's say, and from teams that are no longer in existence can be picked, and that kind of makes things even amongst the teams. So let's recap what happened on April 12th. We did play a game between Seattle and Los Angeles that went 11, and Seattle won that 3-2. Rudolph over Rodriguez. Martinez 2 for 5, a triple and a double. Edgar Martinez of Seattle, we presume. Tampa Bay having trouble with their bullpen. They had a 4-3 lead going into the 9th, but Boston battled back and got the 5-4 win. Papelbon over Wilson. Garcia Parra went 3 for 4 and a home run. Baltimore over the Yankees 6-1. Palmer over Ruffing. Woodling went 3 for 4 and a homer and a double. Toronto goes to 3-4 on the year, beating Toronto. It's Detroit over Toronto. Detroit 3-4. Toronto 2-5, 8-6. Barbone got the win over Franco, and Cobb went 4 for 6. A double and 4 stolen bases. This game went 11. Minnesota ekes out a win over the St. Louis Browns 2-1. I put in 2 teams to make things balanced, and so we could have a 144 game schedule. Otherwise, things would have been cockeyed. It was Blyleven over Davenport. Sullivan 3 for 4 and a triple. Miami and the Phillies had a slugfest. It went 10-8. Nolasco over Roberts. Dark 3 for 5, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. The Nationals over the Mets 1-0 in 11. Hahn over Matlack. Snyder, who plays for Washington, Duke Snyder, 2 for 5, a homer and a double. The Reds over the Expos 9-2. Raffensperger over Martinez. Larkin 2 for 4, Barry Larkin, and a home run. Atlanta over the Pirates 5-1. Maddox 2-0 on the year, beats Tannehill. Mazeroski, who plays with Atlanta, not Pittsburgh, 2 for 4, a homer, and 3 RBIs. Cleveland over the White Sox 10-7 in 11. Casey over Folk. Lajoie went 3 for 5, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. Kansas City 5-2 on the year now. They beat Houston 11-3. Splittorf over Wilson, and Lou Piniella, who played for the Royals at one point in his career, 4 for 4, 2 ribbies and a stolen base. Milwaukee over the Cubs 4-3 in 10. Nabel over Hernandez. Wilson 2 for 4 and a triple. The Rockies win on the road over the Cardinals 11-5. We have a 3-way tie in the NL Midwest at 4-3 with Milwaukee, Colorado, and St. Louis now. Willis over Gibson, and Frederick went 3 for 5, 2 homers, and 2 doubles. I lost sight of this for a minute. In some later games, the Rangers over the A's. The A's struggling at 1-6, 8-3. Mullen over Blue. Rodriguez went 2 for 2. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. The Mariners, in the game we saw, beat the Angels 3-2. I just told you about it, so I'm not going to tell you about it again. The Giants shut out the Padres 3-0. Kane over Johnson. Lyle got the save, his first. Arizona pushed threw over LA, only their second win in 7 games, 6-2. Sorry, 6-4. It was Delgado over Spillner. Green went 4 for 4 and a homer and 2 ribbies, which brings us to today, and we're going to play another game between LA and Arizona. So I guess you could say it's time for Dodger baseball, but we'll be playing as the Diamondbacks. And we're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. We're not on our way to Tacoma. And we're getting this game set up for you. Koufax, the left arm of God, will be pitching for LA. And we'll go through the lineups. It's going to be Tony Mullane, who could play first base. He's kind of like an old-time Ohtani. Of course, the pitcher for the Angels, who's now leading was leading the majors in home runs at one point.
Pitching for Arizona, Tony Mullane.
Okay, so we're indoors. We're under the dome, but we get a weather report all the same, 80 degrees with winds going 11 mile an hour in from left. But I don't think they will have a factor in this game. So let's play ball. The lineup for the LA Dodgers, and remember, it is LA Dodgers plus 10 draft picks. Sachs at second, leading off. Neal at shortstop, batting second. Batting third, Mike Piazza, the catcher. 4, Gary Shetfield at DH. Goose Gosselin's in left. He hits fifth. Green is the right fielder. Sean Green, he is the right fielder. Davis is at center field. He hits seventh. Garvey is at first base. He hits 8. And Todd Zeile is at third base. And as I said, Koufax will be pitching for LA, and his EPC, expected pitch count, 120. Looking at the Arizona defense, it will be Gonzalez with a 6 and a 4 in left. That's a 6 range and a 4 arm. Chris Young, a 9 center fielder with a 5 arm. He is in center. Jackie Jensen, an 8 and an 8 in right. Chad Tracy, a 7 at third. Stephen Drew, a 6 at short. Andy Fox, a utility player. He is a 3 at second base. Wally Pipp is at first base, and he is a 7. Damian Miller is a 7 and a 5 arm at behind the plate. Mullane is your pitcher. It is going to be his third start, so we should probably take a look at his first two. Mullane's expected pitch count, 150. And I am pulling up Mullane. And let's see how his games have been going. He went the distance against the Dodgers, who they play again today. And then he pitched 17 innings. He went 8 with San Diego, giving up 3 runs. 17 is his running total. So let's play some baseball here. Sachs leading off. So far this year's 355, a homer and a ribby. Up the middle, Mullane with the putout, 1 out. That brings up Charlie Neal, 143 on the year, no homers, 1 ribby. That's ball 4, and Neal will get on base. First walk of the game for Mullane in 17 and a third innings now. He's at 260, 17 and a third innings. He's given up 17 hits, a homer, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts. His opposing batting average is 243, and his whip a little higher than it should be, 1.327. So Piazza in the 3-hole. Let's see what he does. That's a base hit to right field. Will Neal advance past second? No, he will not. And Piazza and Neal both aboard with base hit. Piazza got the base hit. Neal did not. Shetfield up. Shetfield on the air, 417, 2 homers, 8 ribbies, OPS of 1.283. That is going to go to Gonzalez. It was a line drive. The runners will stay in place. Goose Gosselin, 222 on the year, 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's hit sharply to right. It'll go all the way to the wall. This should score a couple maybe. And I'm not going to try to get the out at home plate. Piazza will score. 2-0. And LA draws first blood with Koufax pitching, which may not be a good thing. Sean Green, 367, 2 homers and 9 ribbies. Popped up. Who will get it? Looking like it might be Fox. And it is. Side
Pitching for
retired,
Los
finally,
Angeles,
for LA.
Sandy Koufax.
So Koufax stepping in. This is his first start of the season. Should go 120 pitches. But he's highly regarded. We'll go through the Arizona lineup. Jensen in right leading off. Drew at shortstop, batting second. Pip at first base, batting third. Gonzalez at left, he hits fourth. Tracy at third, he hits fifth. DeLucci is your DH, he hits sixth. Fox at second, batting seventh. Miller catching, batting eighth. And Young at center field, hitting ninth. And Mullane pitches, and he had 25 pitches in the first inning. His expected pitch count, 150. Defensively for Los Angeles, Goslin, a 6 and a 5 in left. Davis, Willie Davis, an 8 and a 4 in center. Sean Green, a 6 and a 5 in right. Zeal is a 5 at third. Neal is a 6 at short. Sachs also a 6 at second. And Garvey, Steve Garvey, is a 9 at first base. Piazza, a 7 and a 5 arm, so you can run on him. And Koufax's range is a 4. Leading off, Jackie Jensen. And that's a base hit, so you can forget about Koufax getting a no-hitter today. Of course, Koufax pitched 4 no-hitters in his career, one of which was a perfect game against the Cubbies in 1965, in a game that had 1 hit and 1 run total between the two teams. September 9, 1965. Somewhere on YouTube you could find Vin Scully's call of that game. Remarkable game. But they capture only the Koufax getting the last 3 outs in the ninth. I believe he struck out the side to get the perfect game, too. So Drew up, Stephen Drew, 111. No homers, no ribbies. Jensen's, by the way, his batting average now to 364. Not a threat to steal, really, so I'm just going to swing away. Grounded to first. They go to second for 1. Over to first, a double play, 3-6-3 style. And now Arizona suddenly with 2 out. That brings up Wally Pipp. One day, Wally Pipp was replaced at first base by a man named Lou Gehrig, and Gehrig only had, at one point in Major League history, the consecutive game streak record before Cal Ripken broke that up September 6, 1995. Pipp hits this to center. Davis, we'll get to it. Side retired for Atlanta, not for Atlanta, but for Arizona. We go to the second, it's 2-0 Dodgers. Davis, Willie Davis, now up, 333 on the year, 1 homer and 5 ribbies. 7, 8, 9 hitters now up for the Dodgers. Up the middle, Fox, Pipp, 1 out. And that's going to bring up Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey was probably, unfortunately, more well-known for his off-the-field exploits, being involved with several relationships outside of his marriage. 214 on the year is Steve, 1 homer and 5 ribbies, and Garvey would go on to play for the Padres. Fox, Pipp, 2 outs. Todd Zeal. I was reading a little bit of Ball 4 today, and that reminded me of Steve Garvey, because Boughton, in the chapter where he talks about Ball 4 20 years later in 1989, brings up Garvey, also brings up Pete Rose, and thought he shouldn't have been suspended and banished for life. So Zeal, the 9-hitter, 174, no home runs, 1 RBI. And all these years later, I agree with Boughton, of course, who has passed on. Zeal on board with a base hit to left, so that'll improve his batting average. Steve Saxic back up again, top of the order for LA, 0 for 1. Grounder to short. Drew will go for the out at first. He gets it. And the side retired in the LA second. We've played 1.5. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Luis Gonzalez, hero of the 2001 World Series, steps in. He hits 250. 6 for 24 so far in the year. A homer and 5 ribbies. First start of the year for Koufax, and that's strike 3, and that's the first K for Koufax this season here in the HTBL. As I say, we play a shortened season, 144 games. We have an all-star break, and the division champions plus 1 wild card will be the 10 teams that make the playoffs. So Koufax deals to Tracy. Tracy on the year, only 7 at bats, but he's hitting .429 with a homer and a ribby. Grounded to second, Sachs. Garvey, 2 outs. That brings up DeLucci, David DeLucci, .238 on the year. He has 1 home run and 2 RBIs. Green snags the single from right field, and now DeLucci aboard. Andy Fox now up. He has only had 1 at bat, and he didn't get a hit in it. Hello to Ron Juckett at Retro Sports Network. Was just exchanging notes with him before doing this game. On June 22nd, 2021, we were talking about Johnny Mathis and Denise Williams. Does anybody remember Denise Williams? I'm just curious. Had 2 hits, and one of them was with Johnny Mathis. So Fox up, and he is, like I said, he's 0 for 1 for the season, and a throwback to DeLucci, safe at first. Here's the deal to Fox. Back to Koufax, throws over the first and gets the out. So Arizona puts up another goose egg. We go to the third with a score 2-0. Charlie Neal up for L.A. He didn't get an at-bat in his first plate appearance. It must have been a walk. Was it? Yes, it was. So here's the pitch to him. He strikes out. The throw evades the catcher. Throw to first gets him, and there's 1 out. Mike Piazza up again, 1 for 1 on the day. We'll see how Mullane deals with him. Grounder to short. Great stab by Drew, who throws to Pip. And there's 2 outs now. Gary Sheffield up for the Dodgers. 0 for 1 so far today. Hit well to left. Gonzalez doesn't even have to move too much. And that's the 3rd out for the Dodgers. In the 3rd, we have played 2.5. It is 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. 5-2 on the year, looking to go 6-2. Damian Miller, the 8-9-1 hitter, is now up for Arizona. He is 1 for 1 on the season. Can't get any better than that. To Zeal, and did Miller beat it out? No, he did not. That's an out. 5-3, but very entertaining. Chris Young, 0-42 on the year and 24 at-bats. Only has 1 hit to his credit. Hits it well, but Davis is going to make him 1 for 25. Back to the top of the order for the Diamondbacks. Here is Jackie Jensen. Koufax. That's hit to left. Goslin with the putout. So we've played a 3rd of this game, and it's 2-0 Dodgers as we head to the top of the 4th. Goslin steps back in. He's 1 for 1. Fox. Pip. Looked like Fox had trouble with that grounder, but it gets to Pip just the same, and there's 1 out. Green, 0 for 1 so far on the day. Had good power in his career, and he gets aboard with a single to left. Willie Davis up. He's 0 for 1. Mullane deals to him, but he's hit. Davis is hit, and we have had an ejection. Miller is out of the game. And let's see what has happened. The pitch hit him in the midsection. Green moves into scoring position. Davis looks upset. Miller is holding him back. Mullane is yelling back at Davis. Damian Miller was ejected. So there you go. And Arizona's going to need a new catcher, and they only have 1. They have Montero. Miguel Montero is going to step in, and he will hit 8 the rest of the game. And after that, Arizona's going to be SOL. So Garvey steps in, runners at first and second. He's 0 for 1 so far. Mullane, grounder to Drew, goes for the out at first and gets it. And the runners move up a base, so it's now 3rd and 2nd for Todd Zeal after we had a little bit of displeasure between the 2 teams, which has led to the ejection of Miller. The original Arizona catcher, Montero, is the new catcher. Strike 3, Mullane gets his 2nd K of the game. And after all of that, it's another goose egg for L.A. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0, LA leading. Koufax, 1 strikeout so far on the game. He faces Stephen Drew. Hit to right. Will it get out? No, Green with the catch on the warning track, and there's 1 out. Thought Drew might have had that for a minute. Wally Pipp back up. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Popped up. Looks like Zeal gets to it. He does. 2 outs. Koufax had 37 pitches. He's pitching very well right now. Here's Luis Gonzalez. Hit to right. Green got to it, though. Again, almost at the warning track, if not there. And Arizona out of the 4th. We go to the 5th. Dodgers 2, Diamondbacks nothing. Steve Sachs up, 0 for 2 on the day. And Sachs, I beg your pardon, he bunted it in front of the plate. Didn't look like Arizona was expecting it, because I wasn't. And Montero threw it to first, and Sachs beats it out for a bunt single. We'll have to keep an eye on him. And there's the throw over the first. I think they ruled that an error. And we are in the top of the 5th inning with the score 2-0 as my phone rings. And once again, it's nobody I want to talk to. Mullane facing Charlie Neal. And what happened here? That was a ball. Sachs tried to run but couldn't. Now he will run, and he gets second base easy with no attempt to pick him off. No throw from Montero. He must have had problems handling it. So now a runner at second. 0-2 count to Neal, Charlie Neal. Drew, Pipp, and that is out number 1. Mike Piazza up. We are going to pitch around him. Don't want him to beat us. Mullane with the ground ball throws it over the Pipp, and Sachs will advance to third. With 2 outs, we're going to pitch around Gary Sheffield, too. That's a grounder to first, but foul. Count now goes to 1-2. Again, we pitch around. Base hit to left. That brings in Sachs, and it's 3-0 Dodgers. Dodgers with 5 hits now to Arizona's 2. Arizona has the only error in this game, which we just had in this inning. Goslin up. See what has happened in the 5th inning so far. Goslin 1 for 2 to Tracy, and that's the 3rd out. So Arizona now has themselves in a little bit of a spot as LA picks up another run in the 5th. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 3-0. Chad Tracy up for Arizona. 3 for 8 on the season, 0 for 1 today. And that hits him. And you wonder if that was retaliation for what Mullane did. No hostilities break out on the field, but Tracy is at first the hard way with the HBP. DeLucci is up, 1 for 1 on the day. He struck out DeLucci, Koufax did, and that's number 2 today for the left arm of God, and that brings up Andy Fox, 0 for 1 on the day. That's another strikeout for Koufax, 2 in a row. Montero up. Miguel Montero is usually the catcher, I would say, from looking at his stats here. 2 for 27. He's hitting .074. And this probably was supposed to be a day off for Montero, but now he has been pressed into action. They could throw over to first to keep Tracy on us, but he makes it back, and I wasn't trying to steal him. Get a steal on him. Let's see what Montero does. That's a strikeout. And Arizona out in the 5th. We go to inning number 6 with the score 3-0 Dodgers. Mullane back out there. He is at 82 pitches. He could probably go a while. Still, depending on how much trouble he gets in the remainder of the game. Sean Green, 1 for 2 on today. He plays right field. And that's a walk. That is... Let me see, on the game, that is 2 walks on the day for Mullane and 2 strikeouts. Willie Davis, the center fielder, 0 for 1 today. A grounder. Double play. That was right in front of the catcher. He threw it to second, and he got the man at first. a DP, and its base is empty for the Dodgers for Steve Garvey. 0 for 2, Mr. Alimony. That's ball 4. Third walk of the day and the second of the inning for Tony Mullane, bringing up the number 9 hitter, Todd Zeile. And that was a strike. As Garvey a threat to steal? I don't think so. We'll throw over to him. Keep him honest. Oh, he's down up to 71%? Excuse me. And he's out at second base. A caught stealing. And Garvey hearing it from the Arizona crowds. I think some of the Arizona fans brought baby strollers to the field. So some holding signs. I slept with Steve Garvey. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-0, 3-0, in favor of LA. So this brings up Young. Chris Young is 0 for 1 on the day. Koufax deals. Hit high to center field. And it's a home run. It is a home run. Just got over the fence. And Chris Young with the kaboom. And it is 3-1 now in favor of LA. Game tightens a little bit. You don't see too often Sandy Koufax give up a gopher ball, so we should probably look at it again. And there it is. Just got over the wall in center field. That went 381. That brings up Jackie Jensen as Arizona goes to the top of the order. Pleasant surprise to have your number 9 hitter hit a home run. Jensen on the day 1 for 2. He was also a college football star, I believe, at Ohio State. So Jensen, a 62% chance to run. And that's the first walk for Koufax. Let's test Piazza's arm here. Jensen's going. He's safe. Stolen base, number 3 for Jackie Jensen. So Drew now, a runner at scoring position, 0 for 2 on the day. Hit well to right. Greenback makes the play at the warning track. I thought he might have had it for a minute. A throw to third. Jensen advanced to third base, and Green challenged it, but Jensen in there with an advance. Pip up, 0 for 2 on the day, looking at Koufax. That's a base hit. We have a 3-2 game when we do, and Goslin mishandled it in left field. Pip's going to advance to second base. So all of a sudden, things looking bright for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have scored 2 in the 6th inning, and we have a 3-2 game. Pip at second. Here's Gonzalez, 0 for 2 on the day. And they're going to walk Gonzalez to get to Tracy. Tracy is 375. He hits righties, usually 286. I think it's too early to try for a pinch hitter here. You want to save those guys for a later inning. Koufax will deal to Tracy. Grounded. Garvey picked it up. The force at second. Over to first. Safe, I believe. Yes. So now it's runners at the corners. 2 outs for David DeLucci, who is 1 for 2. And Tracy's going to go for it. We want to steal a second only. Safe. Tracy in there with his first stolen base of the year. So now a well-placed single, and Arizona will have the lead. They're really working Koufax here in this 6th inning. Here we go. Hit to center. Davis coming in fast, makes the putout. And we have now played 6 innings here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. And it's 3-2 in favor of LA. Top of the 7th now. Zeile 1 for 2, looking at Tony Mullane. Mullane at 93 pitches. Still on a good pace to pitch a complete game should things not totally get out of hand. To second, and Zeile beats out an infield hit. Did Fox have trouble with it? Yes, he did. They're going to call that an error. And that's the second error today for the Diamondbacks. That brings up Steve Sachs, 0 for 3 on the day. Strike 3 called, and Mullane picks up his 3rd strikeout to go to 11 on the season. Charlie Neal, 0 for 2. Zeile was going, and they caught him. Stolen base attempt sported, caught stealing. So now 2 outs and a 0-1 count to Charlie Neal. Could be stretch time. Fox, Pip, we're there. Get up and stretch, people. And we're back. This is Big Bally coming to you, taking you the rest of the way through this 8th game for each team. It was Los Angeles off to a fast start. They picked up the first 3 runs, but Arizona came back with 2 in the bottom of the 6th to make it an interesting game as we head to its conclusion. It's 3-2 Dodgers over the Diamondbacks. It is Andy Fox up. He is 0 for 2 on the day. And that's strikeout number 5 for Sandy Koufax. Or should we put 4 more Ks into that name? Well, maybe we shouldn't. That would kind of sound odd. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts on the day for Koufax. He's at 85 pitches. And I think his pitch limit will be 120. Montero up, the only catcher Arizona has for the remainder of their game. Their other catcher got ejected after a near fracas broke out earlier. Montero 0 for 1. To Sachs. Garvey, and that's a 4-3 grounder. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th for Chris Young, who hit the home run earlier in this game, in the 6th inning. So it wasn't that long ago. We get a crack at it again. This is hit well to left. Does he have 2 home runs? No, Goslin makes the catch at the warning track. So no runs for LA or Arizona in the 7th. See what I did there? We go to the top of the 8th with the score Dodgers 3 and the Diamondbacks 2. Mike Piazza stepping in 1 for 3, offensive catcher. Not a great arm. Mullane's still in there. He is at 105 pitches and continues to pitch effectively. His ERA at the moment 2.63. The ERA he should have, based on the stats Dave Koch Sports puts together, is 2.62. Let's see what he could do. Grounder, Mullane over, but Pip could take it to the first base bag himself, and there's 1 out. Gary Sheffield 1 for 3 in this game. Base hit up the middle. No, Young, it stayed up, and Young got the line drive, and there's 2 outs. Goose Goslin 1 for 3 on the day. Mullane at 111 pitches. We keep an eye on that very closely. He probably could go the distance. And that's going to be a 5-3 ground out. Tracy to Pip. And Arizona quickly back up in the bottom of the 8th. They only need 1 run. It's 3-2. Jensen 1 for 2. Up the middle. Oh, it took a weird bounce. And it's a base hit. Let's get a rally going. Jackie is right. And that took a very odd bounce. And that gets Jackie Jensen aboard with a base knock. Not a threat to steal, so we're just going to play it the normal way and have Drew at 0 for 3 hit. Little bit of a conference at the mound. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. And Koufax has K number 6 so far in this game. Pip up, and now that with 1 out, he is 1 for 3. They throw over the first. Jensen's a 50-50 threat to steal second, but that's a little too rich for my blood, at least in the 8th inning. Pip skies this. It's going to be Sachs who has a stab at it, and does, so Arizona out in the 8th. So we go to that magic 9th inning, 3-2, Dodgers over the Diamondbacks. Well, we're not there yet. We got 1 more out to get. I miscounted the outs. Luis Gonzalez, the last chance for Arizona in the 8th inning. I am sorry, folks. I make mistakes, but I make them honest. This is popped up, and Piazza puts away his face mask and makes the putout. So now we have played 8 innings, and the score is 3-2. Just remember what I said and apply it to now. Mullane up 113 pitches. I do think we're going to keep him in unless there's major trouble. And it's going to be Green, Davis, and Garvey up 6, 7, 8 for Atlanta. Not for Atlanta. There I go with Atlanta again. Los Angeles. I have Atlanta on my mind for some reason today. So here's Mullane dealing to Green. That's a grounder, base hit to right. Green aboard. And they'll go to Willie Davis. Davis 0 for 2 again. Tracy will go for the runner at first. He got him. And there's one out. We'll pitch around Garvey. That's skied to left. Stay in the park. Gonzalez makes the putout. And a throw at third, and Green gets into third base safely, but just barely. We'll pitch around Zeal. With 2 outs, we're not going to do anything infield and outfield wise. Grounder, Drew, make that play. Yes. And Arizona out defensively in the 9th. So Arizona needing 1 run to tie it with the score 3-2. I don't hate the Dodgers. In real life, not Arizona, but Los Angeles is my favorite National League team. But I'm controlling Arizona, and I'm kind of trying to pull in the victory here. Tracy up 0 for 2. Hitting against righties, hitting against lefties, he should hit 258. So we asked the age-old question, who can hit a lefty? And we can go to, let's see, Tracy plays third base. We're not going to do it yet, but we should do it eventually. We got our DH up, so we could pinch hit then. Tracy, base hit to right. Now the question is, can I bring in a pinch runner? Well, actually I can't because I would have the same problem. I need somebody to play third base. And right now, those options, I still have Craig Counsell. I have Craig Counsell who could play third base and is a 7 at it. So we are going to see here. We have Womack and we have Burns. I'm going to put Womack in at first base. Womack will pinch run.
Womack is the new runner at first.
I know. And Burns is going to pinch hit. And we're going to steal with Womack. Got it. Stolen base number 2 for Tony Womack. And now a base hit ties the game. Koufax is tired at 121 pitches. We'll see how long they leave him out. Here's Burns. Grounded to short. That's going to freeze Womack at second. And they get the out, 1 gone. Fox is 0 for 3. He hits lefties 227. And he is the second baseman. I have Counsell who hits a little better at 242. Craig Counsell. Pinch hitting Counsell is 0 for 6. He is 0 for 6 on the season. But I get better odds with him up. This has popped up. Sack should get to it. He does. 2 outs. Last chance is Montero, our only catcher, who we really can't replace. 0 for 2 on the day. Arizona down to their last out. Koufax trying to go the distance. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's at 126. And Montero hits it to right. And Arizona wins the game. Montero with a walk-off home run to right field. And Arizona wins 4-3. How about that? We will replay that one. Well, we can't. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Or you could look at it again on the stream. So there you go, folks. Arizona with that 2-run homer by Montero. Talk about a clutch effort. Beats Los Angeles 4-3. They go to 3-5 on the year, and Los Angeles 5-3. They left Koufax in there too long, and they paid the price for it. Koufax and Mullane went all the way. MVP of the game should be, it's going to be Tony Mullane, should be Montero in my opinion, and Miller, of course, was ejected. So that was an interesting game, and we will be back tomorrow. We'll do that Kansas City game for Luke Brown. Hello, Luke. How you doing? And for now, this has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.